Hey guys, so today I'm here to show you some things I picked up at a town-wide yard sale I went to, and this was probably one of the best yard sale days that I've had, like, ever. First I'll show you I picked up a toy for my niece, and I picked her up one of those Nerf, like, crossbows. She's into, like, the Nerf Rebel, and I paid $1 for that. Okay, and the rest of the stuff I really have no order to it. I'm just going to grab things and show you as I go. First up, I picked up this dog placemat. I think it's actually to set under their bowls. But I'm going to try and clean it up and frame it and add it to a gallery wall. And it just says dog cafeteria, and then it's got some like vintage looking dogs on it. And this was $1. Next thing I picked up is also a dog item. It's actually a dog painting, and this is canvas. There's no glass in it. I just got to spruce up the frame a little bit, maybe chalk paint it, make it more my style. I paid $2 for this, and it does have a small, like, blemish in the canvas here, but this here, this is actually, somebody commissioned this picture of their pet. And it says right here, this is Laddie Lawrence of Damaris, New Jersey, December 25th, 1961. So to me, it's just amazing to think of like somebody back in 1961 that loved their pet so much they had this commissioned and it's lasted this time. And so I'm just going to try and fix that up a little bit and spruce up the frame. And then I'll work this into my gallery wall too. And this was $2. I picked up a pitcher and 2 glasses set, and these are plastic, so they're made for using outside as like serving things. And I paid $3 for this set. They were originally from Marshalls or TJ Maxx, I think, because that's the type of tag. They don't have a price, but usually Marshalls or TJ Maxx would charge like $12 for something like this. But I just liked the green color, and I like how they look like the hobnail glass, even though they're plastic. This next item, I have to move back a little, I was super excited about. I picked this radio flyer Wagon up for $2. And it's got a little bit of rust inside it, which I'll clean up with steel wool, and then I will put something down over it. But I'm going to make a dog bed out of this. I saw on Country Living they did it. You can just unscrew here and get the wheels and the axles off. And then just like clean it up real good. I'll get rid of the rust. And just put a cushion in, and it'll be like a super cute dog bed. And they only wanted $2 for that. So I was super excited about that. Okay, and all the rest of the stuff I have here in a bag, I'm just going to grab from the top as we go. I picked up a clothing item, and it's just a sweater from the brand Say What? Maybe TJ Maxx. And it just says Genius on it. And I just liked the look of like the black and white kind of like almost heathered or marled type knit. And that was $1. They actually wanted 3, but we took I went with my husband and his parents, and his mother is like a genius at bargaining, so she got that down to $1 for me. I picked up a pumpkin, and that was $1. And it's just like a foam. And I don't know whether I'll just clean it up or whether I'm going to actually like paint this one. I'm not sure. I did get another pumpkin, which is at the bottom of this bag. I'll show you as we get to it, that I plan on doing something with. I just picked up a roll of cross-stitch fabric, because for 25 cents it's way cheaper than buying it at Walmart. And I recently started cross-stitching. I have older hobbies, I guess, but it's fun for me, so. And then I got some vintage tins. I got this Davis baking powder, 5-pound size one. And this one is actually, this is a real vintage thing, not a reproduction. And I paid $4 for this. And I've been working on my kitchen, doing, like, I painted, I made a gallery wall. I'm going to be hopefully putting up a new light, and then I have a shelving thing that I'm saving up for just an IKEA shelf, but just to add like some character, like put things on it. So I'm kind of like planning it in my head. I actually have a drawing on the wall behind me. I do like little mood boards for things that I'm working on. So these will go good on the shelves in there and kind of like spruce things up. I have 2 more tins. This one I paid $1 for, and it's Zhu Zhu Gingersnaps. And this tin itself is from 1982. It's a reproduction of a 1916 design. But still, for 1982, this thing's as old as I am, and it still looks good. And then I've got one more tin, and this one is from 1979, a replica of a 1914 design. And this was also $1. They had a yard sale where they just had everything laid out on tables, you know, like $1 here, 25, that would be $1. $1 here, 50 cents here, you know, and so on. So it was actually like really easy. I hate when things aren't priced and you have to keep asking somebody like, how much is this? How much is this? Because, anyways, so $1 for that tin also. In that same table that had quarter stuff, I picked up this frame. Anytime I find cheap frames that are either like a shape I like or if they're white with a mat in them, if they're affordable, I pick them up because you can always use them. So $1. And that's just a piece of like cardboard that's keeping space until you open it up and put something in. I picked up a pair of curtain tiebacks. And these were $1. This isn't really like my favorite design ever, but I plan on, I'm going to spray paint them white and then kind of like antique them. And I actually, it was just last week I decided I wanted a pair of curtain tiebacks, because I make my bed every morning, and lately when I've been making it, I've been pulling open the curtains and like letting the light and let some fresh air in and stuff, and I like the way it looks like with the sun just coming in. So I thought that I should find a pair of curtain tiebacks, and I was looking at Walmart, and I was willing to pay, like, I was gonna end up paying like $10, even for like a set of cheap ones. So when I found these, even if this thing on the end isn't my favorite, I could even try making something, because, let me just show you real quick. If you unscrew it, it's just something kind of like a finial on a threaded screw. So, I mean, like, maybe even you could replace it with, like, a kitchen knob or something. I don't know if the diameter's right, whatever, but, you know, it's worth a shot to play around and see with some of the things I have sitting around if I could even glue something on the end that I liked better. But for $1, I couldn't go wrong. Okay. Next up, I picked up these Rivets, and these are not actually for me. I was either thinking of reselling them or giving them to someone, because I honestly don't have people over where I cook and I need to have Rivets. Our stuff always goes like straight from stove to a plate, like I plate it and that's it. I thought maybe my grandmother, because she's got a lot of like holiday dinners and stuff. But anyways, they're these snowflake shaped Rivets. And then when I saw they were from Crate and Barrel, and she wanted $1 for the set, so 50 cents a piece. I didn't actually look these up online yet. I know, like, the thing, I love having a smartphone nowadays, because, like, you get out of it, you come from the yard sale, you get back in the car, and you're, like, instantly checking to see, like, you know, did I score, is it a good deal, or what? But, I mean, Crate and Barrel, I know these were way, way more than 50 cents, so, and she'll like those. Next thing I picked up is this little sheep, and he was also $1. And I was debating it, I don't know, because there was something that, like, drew me to him, and I don't know why, because it's not, like, something I would normally pick up, but I just liked him. And for some reason I see him, like, as a 4th of July type thing, like, with, some kind of, like, a rustic Americana, like, weathered, you know, stars and stripes thing. I don't know, sometimes I just see things and something comes into your mind, and it's like, for $1, if I would have been thinking about him, I don't know. So I picked him up, and if I don't find a way to use him, I will regift him to somebody else that likes him. But he's actually, he's made of soft material. So, he was $1. He was in a bin, actually, with that white pumpkin I showed you that was also $1. and then this item here. And it's just like, it's not actual architectural salvage, it's made to look like it, but I'm going to paint it and weather it even more. And I was thinking I might try and fill in some of the cracks, I don't know. I mean, they might give it some character, but I feel almost like the store that made this one a little overboard with the cracks and the weathering. But it was $1, and it'll be cool to add some height, like to displays or things. Alright, and I'm starting to get to the bottom. I've got this small medicine bottle. The one place he had like antiques, he had this thing, he called them antique grab bags. So, you know, for $1 you grab a little bag and you don't know what's going to be in it. I watched one girl do it. She actually got this. I thought, that's cute. You know, I could put it in my bathroom in a display or something. So, you know, I don't know, kind of like for the mystery of it. So I paid $1, and I don't know if it's actually really vintage or whether he just bought a bunch of these things, like, for cheap and then, you know, to make it seem. But the story supposedly is years ago when you needed medicines, they didn't have, like, the plastic pill bottles they have now, or they didn't have pills. So if it was, like, a serum or something, I guess you'd put it in your coffee. And they'd come out of, like, the bigger bottle at the pharmacy. They'd decant what you needed and label it. And maybe I'll see if I can get, like, a small label, actually. Like, print one offline, like a vintage-looking one. So, I mean, he could have fed me, like, a bull crap story. I don't know, but it's still cute. So, let's see. The other pumpkin I was mentioning is this one here. I picked this up for $1 also. And it actually had some kind of, like, a curly vine on it that I pulled out. This one I'm going to see if I can make it look as close to mercury glass as I can. I'm going to try that looking glass spray paint. Supposedly, if you spritz it with a vinegar or water mixture, I'll have to get, like, the exact, you know, solution down. But supposedly you mist it lightly, and then you put the looking glass spray paint on, and it's like an approximation of mercury glass. So, I mean, if it doesn't work out, I can always, like, scrape it down and redo something else with it. But I wanted to try that because I've been looking on Pinterest lately. I know it's only the beginning of August and it's, like, 100 degrees here still. But, like, I don't know, I'm starting to already plan for, like, fall and, like, how I can reuse some of the things I have, add some of the new finds from the summer in. It's just, fall's, like, one of the most exciting times of the year to decorate for. Alright, and then I'm down to the last 2 items. These actually I counted as one. It's actually a salt and pepper shaker set. I paid $1 for. I'm not going to use them as salt and pepper. I think that they'll be super cute in, like, little winter displays around the house, like nestled into some greenery, or put, like, you know, on a bookshelf with some books. Just, like, all kinds of little things I could work them into. So I paid $1 for those. And then the last item is this cow painting that my husband said was hideous, but I fell in love with. And they wanted $8 for it, but they took $5. And $5 is normally probably more than I would pay for something like just a small picture at a yard sale, but I don't know why. There's just something about this thing. I liked it. And I will probably, like I usually do, chalk paint the frame and distress it a little so it fits in with the rest of the frames in the kitchen. And then add it to the kitchen gallery wall. Because I'm kind of, I'm going for, like, more of, like, a slightly farmhouse feel, but not, like, completely farmhouse. I've always been more, like, into coastal and beachy, but I'm trying to kind of, like, combine the two. So kind of like industrial, farmhouse, beachy. It's a weird combination, but so far it's working. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to add him to my gallery wall after I fix up the frame. And then when I finally get the kitchen done, I will give a tour and you can see how I incorporated all these little things I found. So yeah, that's it for the day. And I know I gave prices as I went, but actually I only ended up spending, I think, like $25 out of my pocket. My husband, anything that was over, he bought me. Like, he might have bought me this picture. It's hard to remember because they all start to blend together. But yeah, so I had a great time. I actually got to see a ton of other, like, vintage items that, like, I even get inspiration from stuff like that. Like, you see how people, like, set up, like, little booths at, like, the flea market sections. and how they have their vintage items, and you know, it just gets your brain going. And so yeah, I had a really good day. I hope you guys enjoyed my stuff, and I'll be back with more.